Dear students, today we are going to learn our first lesson of history, the Indian subcontinent and history. The first point of this lesson is geographical conditions and history. In the fifth standard, we saw at some length that there is a close relationship between man and his environment. We saw how the changes in the lifestyle of the early man and his technology were related to the changes in his surroundings. So we studied all these things, how human being is related with environment and human technology and human lifestyle changes according to the environment where he was living. We also reviewed the history of human civilization from Stone Age to the agriculture civilization that flourished on the banks of river. So, as you know that agriculture civilization means human civilization flourished means got progressed on the banks of river. History is a coherent. What is coherent means? Coherent means clear or which is related. So history is a coherent account of the significant past events. Coherent, related account of the significant, important past events, which is related with past events in the progress of human culture. So that is the definition of history. Means history is related with the account of significant past events which got progress with progress of human culture. Time, place, society, and individuals are the four major pillars of history. Time, place, society where we live, and individual. Individual means single person or single man or woman are the four major pillars, means four major supporters of history. We cannot write history without them. Suppose you are going to write down the history, we need these four major pillars. Without them, you cannot imagine history. Of these four components, means elements, place is related to geography or geographical conditions. In this sense, history and geography are inseparable. Therefore, you can say that history and geography are not separable. You cannot separate them. Both are almost same. They are interrelated. History is influenced by means you will find the impact of time on history means though you find the impact of geography on history. Our diet is what we eat, our clothing, what we wear, our housing, where we live, our occupation is what we do. In fact, all human life in any region depends to a large extent on its geographical characteristics. For example, the life of the people in hilly regions is more strenuous, difficult than that of the people on the plains. Means here you will find that how geography means how geographical conditions separate human being, how they bring out changes in human life. The example is over here. Suppose people in hilly regions, suppose they are living in hilly regions, they are having very difficult time. Why it is very difficult to live in hilly regions? That is given here. Not much fertile land is available over there, first thing. While in the plain you will find that very large scale there is a plain region. So there in that plain regions you will find fertile land, but you cannot find fertile land in hilly regions. That is why grains and vegetables are scarce, means very less in hilly areas. In comparison, people on plain get them in sufficient measure. Naturally, this has an impact on the diet of people. Obviously, it will certainly make difference in the diet of people, those who are living in hilly region and those who are living in plain. In hilly regions, people depend more on hunting. They hunt, they do hunting of animals, and they gather their food. They particularly collect their food which is available over there and that particular part. We also find other such differences in the lifestyle of the people of hilly regions and those of the plains. The climate, rainfall, agriculture produce, flora and fauna of the regions where we live are source of our livelihood. Source of our livelihood, our lives are depend on these things. First thing is climate. Now, what is climate actually? Climate is the particular atmosphere or particular weather which is available in that particular area. That is called a climate. Then rainfall. What kind of rainfall we have over there? It is less one or plenty of rainfall. It depends on the area obviously, and it also affect the people on that area, in that area. Agriculture produce, what we produce in farming, okay, that is called agriculture produce. Then flora, plants, and fauna means animals of the region where we live. All these are the source of our livelihood. Our lives are depend upon it. The lifestyle and culture of a region develops with their support. So whatever lifestyle, whatever culture we develop, it is only because of these things. Human settlements have flourished, means got progress wherever the means of living things are plentiful. So we got progress very easily where all these things are easily available or in plentiful, or these things are plentiful. Over a period of time, these settlements develop further into villages and towns. And these settlements where people used to live temporarily. So those temporary settlements generally developed into villages, and those villages convert into towns. But sometimes reasons like the degradation of the environment. So some reasons also are there where we generally leave that area, we leave that settlement. So some reasons are first one is degradation of the environment. Means suppose we are interfering in the environment, so in that environment generally get worse, it gets into bad condition, that is called degradation of environment. Drought, where rainfall is not available. Then invasion means what, suppose some outer people or some outside people generally attack on us, that is called invasion. So all these reasons as well as lead to the scarcity of those means, and because of that thing we generally do not have those things very in a plentiful amount, and because of that reason we leave that area. So people forced to leave that settlement, villages and towns become deserted, left, those are completely got empty. We see many such instances in history. So there are so many examples in history where people left their area because of these reasons. Thus we see that there is a close relationship between history and geography. So as you can say that history and geography both are completely interrelated. Our next point is geographical features in India. So in India, what kind of geographical features we have, that we are going to study now. A country India extends far and wide, or India is far and wide. As at its north lie Himalayas, to the east Bay of Bengal, to the west Arabian Sea, and to the south Indian Ocean. So these are the boundaries. These are the boundaries of India, except for the islands of Andaman, Nicobar, and Lakshadweep. Rest of the India is contiguous. Contiguous means continuous. It's a single part. Okay, it is not divided. So that is our geographical feature of India. We have to take into account these regions, but now we are going to go in detail about these things, henceforth referred as ancient India. So therefore we are going to study the geographical features of India from ancient India. When we study the ancient history of India before 1947, today's Pakistan and Bangladesh were also the part of India. So India, after 1947, India got partition with Pakistan and then with Bangladesh. Okay, but right now we are going to follow the map, we are going to follow the geographical features before 1947, where Pakistan and Bangladesh were the part of India. The following regions are seen to be very important when we look at the course of Indian history. First one is Himalayas. Second, plains of Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra rivers. Then Thar desert. Number 4, Deccan plateau. Number 5th, the coastal regions. And number 6, the islands in seas. One of them first is Himalayas. The Hindu Kush and Himalaya ranges have created an impenetrable wall. It is impenetrable means what? One cannot go through that. So it's a kind of a wall which generally protects us from China as well as some Central Asian countries. So Himalaya ranges have created the impenetrable wall on the northern side of Indian subcontinent. This wall has separated the Indian subcontinent from deserts of Central Asia. However, there is a land route through the Khyber and Bolan passes, but there are some routes which are called passes. So these routes which are from mountains, which are generally called passes, so these routes can connect Central Asia to India. These routes, this route was connected to an ancient trade route. The trade route from China passed through Central Asia and reached Arabia. It is known as Silk Route. So why these are called Silk Routes? Why? Because China used to sell silk to Central Asia or Europe, and they go through India, and because of that reason from Himalaya and from that part they particularly found a route, and that route they used to sell, they used that route to sell silk in Central Asia as well as Europe, and therefore this route is called Silk Route or Silk Road, because silk was the main commodity good object, you can say, which was exported to the western countries using this route. This route through the passes was used by the foreign invaders to enter ancient India, and the same route which China used, the same route was used by the invaders, attackers. So they attacked on India by using the same kind of route. Many foreign travelers also came to India by this route. As you can see, here is a Khyber Pass. In that picture, you can see the pass. That is called, that particular kind of a road which go through mountains is called pass. A second point is the plains of Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra. This region consists of the basin. Basin is the area the river generally occupies. That particular area is called basin of the three big rivers Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra, and their tributaries. Tributaries, the smaller rivers generally, which generally connect with those rivers, are called tributaries. This region, extend from Sindh, Punjab in the west to the present day Bangladesh in the east. It was in this region that the earliest Indian civilization, Harappa, and latter states and empires of ancient India emerged. So these are the regions, these are the particular part of India where where the civilization of India, that is called, you can say, the Harappan civilization, it generally flourished in that area, as well as some in ancient Indian empires also got emerge, came out, developed. So students, here we are going to stop, and in next video we are going to study on rest of the part. Okay, thank you.